It was a quiet morning along Florida's Treasure Coast. People were walking their dogs, sipping coffee, or heading to work like any other day. But little did many realize that just a few hours later, all eyes would turn to the skies. Something extraordinary was about to happen. SpaceX was preparing to launch another one of its powerful rockets into orbit. And while liftoffs from Cape Canaveral have become more frequent in recent years, there's still something thrilling about seeing one with your own eyes, especially if you're in places like Vero Beach or Fort Pierce. It's not just a launch, it's a moment in history. SpaceX, led by visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk, has become synonymous with cutting-edge space technology and stunning launch visuals. Each mission, whether it's carrying satellites, resupplying the International Space Station, or paving the way for future Mars colonization, captures global attention. And for residents of Florida's eastern coast, it's even more special. Being within viewing distance of a launch pad adds an electric buzz to the air. Everyone starts checking the weather, the launch window, and the exact timing. People gather on beaches, rooftops, and piers. Smartphones are ready, eyes scan the sky, and then, boom, liftoff. So, when exactly is this next SpaceX rocket scheduled to launch? According to official notices and local alerts, the next liftoff from the Cape Canaveral Space Force Station is currently planned for this weekend. Weather permitting, the launch window opens at around 7:30 p.m., a time that gives spectators a perfect blend of fading sunlight and atmospheric clarity. This timing allows the rocket's trail to illuminate beautifully against the dusk sky, creating a spectacle that has become iconic in Florida's space culture. As always, SpaceX will stream the launch live, but nothing beats watching it in person. The question then becomes, where's the best place to see it from? If you're in Vero Beach or Fort Pierce, you're in luck. These coastal towns sit just under 100 miles south of the launch site, placing them in prime viewing territory. The key is to find a clear view to the north-northeast horizon. One of the most popular spots is JC Park in Vero Beach. With its open beachfront and wide horizon, it's a favorite among both locals and tourists. People bring folding chairs, snacks, and even telescopes to catch every detail of the rocket's ascent. In Fort Pierce, the South Jetty offers a similarly impressive vantage point. Locals swear by it as the perfect place to catch launches without needing to head further north. The jetty sticks out into the ocean, giving spectators an unobstructed view over the water. When the rocket lifts off, it usually appears as a glowing streak in the sky, followed by the rumble of sound that travels seconds later. Some say the vibrations can even be felt in your chest. It's the kind of moment that gives you goosebumps, no matter how many times you've seen it. Another factor that makes this launch special is the rocket being used. SpaceX often launches its Falcon 9 vehicle, a partially reusable rocket known for its reliability. Each Falcon 9 launch saves money and time, thanks to the boosters that return to Earth and land either on a drone ship at sea or back on land. These booster landings are events in themselves, with applause breaking out when one sticks the landing. For this mission, the Falcon 9 will be carrying a payload of communication satellites, meant to enhance global connectivity as part of the Starlink network. Starlink, for those who don't know, is SpaceX's ambitious project to provide high-speed internet coverage across the globe using thousands of small satellites in low Earth orbit. Every new batch of satellites launched into orbit helps expand and strengthen the network. For residents in remote areas or developing nations, this technology could be a game-changer. And each time a Falcon 9 lifts off, more of these satellites head into the sky. It's not just rocket science, it's a mission with a very real impact on how people connect and communicate across continents. Now, weather always plays a crucial role in launch timing. Florida's climate can be unpredictable, especially along the coast. While clear skies are forecasted for this particular launch window, there's always the possibility of delays. SpaceX is meticulous about safety and precision. If there's lightning in the area, high-altitude winds, or other concerning conditions, the launch will be scrubbed and rescheduled. That's why it's always good to follow SpaceX's social media updates or the NASA launch calendar. These platforms provide real-time updates on countdown status, weather checks, and new launch windows if needed. If you're planning to drive from nearby towns to get a closer view, be prepared for traffic. Launch days attract thousands of people. Local law enforcement often assists with managing the surge, but roads near the coast can get congested quickly. It's smart to arrive early, pack water and snacks, and have a backup plan in case parking lots fill up. Many season launch watchers recommend scouting your location the day before to familiarize yourself with the area. That way you're not scrambling at the last minute and can enjoy the event stress-free. Photography enthusiasts have their own game plan for rocket launches. Tripods, long lenses, and fast shutter speeds are all part of the prep. But even with a smartphone, you can capture stunning visuals, especially when the rocket trail glows orange and white against the deepening sky. Some use slow motion to capture the booster separation, while others focus on the sound, the roar that follows after a short delay. If you've never recorded a rocket launch before, this event is a great opportunity to try. Just remember to also take a moment to watch with your own eyes and not just through a screen. SpaceX has transformed space launches from rare events into something more routine, but that doesn't make them any less amazing. For many in Florida, seeing a rocket rise into space never gets old. It's like watching a symbol of human progress in action. You're witnessing technology, science, and ambition all packed into one fiery ascent. And even though the launches are becoming more frequent, each one carries a unique energy. There's a collective sense of awe that sweeps over the crowd. Strangers start talking, kids cheer, and for a few minutes, everyone looks up together. What's also incredible is how much precision is involved. The rocket launch sequence is down to the second. Countdown clocks tick away. Systems are double-checked, and when that go for launch is given, everything hinges on perfect timing. The engines ignite, the ground shakes, and the rocket begins its journey skyward. Inside Mission Control, dozens of engineers monitor every variable. They track the rocket's trajectory, fuel levels, and onboard systems. It's like a giant orchestra of math, physics, and human ingenuity coming together for a few dazzling minutes of flight. And let's not forget the significance of these missions for future exploration. Every successful SpaceX launch gets us a step closer to sustainable space travel. Whether it's returning to the moon, sending humans to Mars, or building a new kind of internet infrastructure, these launches are stepping stones. Elon Musk's broader goal is to make life multiplanetary, to create a future where humanity isn't confined to just Earth. While that might still seem like science fiction to some, every rocket launch brings it closer to reality. And those watching from Florida get a front-row seat to history unfolding. Even for those who aren't space enthusiasts, the emotional impact of a launch can be surprising. There's something primal about watching a vehicle escape Earth's gravity. You feel a sense of pride, wonder, and maybe even a little fear. It's humbling. For parents, it becomes a chance to teach kids about science and space. For older generations, it brings back memories of the Apollo era. And for everyone else, it's simply a breathtaking event. One that makes you pause and think about your place in the universe. As the rocket disappears into the sky, leaving behind a glowing trail and a few seconds of thunder, there's a sense of collective accomplishment. People begin clapping, hugging, and sharing videos. Some stay to watch the booster return if it's a landing mission. Others pack up slowly, not quite ready to leave the moment behind. But the feeling lingers, of having seen something extraordinary. Something that started with fire and steel and ended in the silent cold of space. A reminder that we are, in fact, explorers at heart. If you're in or near Vero Beach or Fort Pierce, this is your chance. Don't miss it. Whether you're watching from a beach, a rooftop, or even your backyard, take a few minutes to be part of something special. Look up, listen close, and let the moment sink in. Because every time a rocket rises, so does our imagination. And in that skyward blaze, we remember what we're capable of, when vision meets technology and dreams lift off. As the crowd slowly begins to disperse after the launch, conversations buzz with excitement. People compare the videos they captured, sharing tips about their viewing spots and talking about how far the sound traveled. You'll hear things like, "Did you feel that vibration in your chest?" Or, "I swear it looked like it split in two up there." These discussions, although casual, are filled with wonder. They reflect just how mesmerizing a rocket launch really is, even for those who've seen multiple liftoffs. It never becomes ordinary, it always feels like you've just witnessed something important. Some stick around to watch the booster landing, especially if it's returning to a drone ship off the coast. There's a different kind of tension when that part comes. The rocket's booster, after propelling the spacecraft upward, flips around and descends back to Earth. Watching it land with pinpoint precision feels like watching a magic trick, except it's all real, driven by flawless engineering and physics. When the booster hits the drone ship or the landing pad just right, the crowd often erupts with applause. It's a victory within a victory, showing that sustainability in spaceflight is not just a dream anymore. Back at home, families rewatch the launch online. Some may not have made it out in person, but they were glued to their screens the whole time. Children watch wide-eyed as the rocket climbs higher and higher, asking their parents questions about astronauts and planets. For many, this is how interest in science is sparked. These launches do more than put satellites in orbit, they inspire the next generation of engineers, scientists, and explorers. The impact goes far beyond the physical trail the rocket leaves in the sky. It leaves a trail in people's minds too. In schools across Florida, teachers often use these local launches as teaching moments. Some even bring students outside to watch the event live. They talk about rocket propulsion, the layers of the atmosphere, orbits, and the role of satellites. When kids see something happen in real life, especially something so grand, it sticks with them more than any textbook can. It's real-world learning at its finest. And in towns like Vero Beach and Fort Pierce, students grow up knowing that space isn't just something you read about. It's right there, visible from your own backyard. Even for those who aren't in it for the science, there's something artistically beautiful about a rocket launch. Photographers chase the perfect shot. Artists sketch the scene. Writers describe the moment in poetic detail. The swirl of smoke, the burst of light, the slow fade of the contrail, it's all visually stunning. The combination of fire, motion, and sound creates something unforgettable. And when you realize that what you're seeing is a machine breaking the grip of gravity, heading into the vacuum of space, it becomes more than beautiful. It becomes profound. Locals have even started turning launch day into a kind of community event. Food trucks show up at parks and beaches. Small local businesses offer launch viewing specials. It's not uncommon to find people barbecuing or laying out picnic blankets near the coastline. People of all ages gather together, creating a shared experience that's rare in our digital world. There's something bonding about standing shoulder to shoulder with strangers, watching the countdown clock hit 0, and feeling the earth shake as the rocket climbs. It's one of those moments when people forget their differences and just marvel at something greater. From an economic perspective, these launches bring a lot of benefits to the region. Tourists flock to the Space Coast and surrounding areas every time a launch is announced. Hotels see a surge in bookings, restaurants fill up, and shops get more foot traffic. Vero Beach and Fort Pierce, though not right next to Cape Canaveral, benefit from being within driving range. People who want a calmer, more scenic place to stay often choose these towns, then head north to catch the action or watch it from the shoreline. It's an indirect but powerful boost to the local economy. SpaceX's frequent launches have also helped normalize the idea of commercial spaceflight. Just a decade ago, space launches were rare and mostly conducted by government agencies. Today, companies like SpaceX are launching every few weeks, making space more accessible and dynamic. With NASA now collaborating with private companies, the lines have blurred between government-led missions and private enterprise. That shift is historic in itself. It shows how far we've come in just a short span of time. We're no longer watching from the sidelines, we're actively participating in a new era of space exploration. What's even more exciting is what the future holds. This current launch may just be a satellite mission, but SpaceX has far more ambitious plans in motion. The upcoming Starship launches will test the largest, most powerful rocket ever built. These rockets could one day send astronauts back to the moon, or even to Mars. And one day soon, Florida's skies won't just host supply missions and satellites. They'll be the departure point for journeys that truly go interplanetary. Watching today's launch is like getting a sneak peek into that future, a glimpse of what's coming next. As people head home from the beaches and parks, they often look back toward the horizon, still half expecting to see the rocket's trail. The glow may be gone, the sound may have faded, but the impression remains. There's something deeply human about watching an object rise into space. It taps into our oldest instincts, to explore, to push boundaries, to reach for the unknown. Whether you're a child seeing your first launch or a retiree who's watched them for decades, the effect is the same. You're reminded that we're capable of greatness. This particular launch also highlights how closely tied technology and human connection have become. The satellites on board are designed to improve global internet coverage. That means better connectivity in rural areas, faster communication, and the potential to bridge the digital divide in developing nations. It's easy to look at a rocket and see only machines and metal. But when you consider what it's carrying and what that means for people, the mission becomes personal. These aren't just objects, they're tools that could change lives on the ground. For SpaceX, every launch is another data point, another step forward. Engineers analyze telemetry, track performance, and fine-tune systems for the next mission. That level of iteration and rapid improvement is what sets the company apart. Unlike the slower pace of traditional aerospace programs, SpaceX moves quickly, learns from each attempt, and adapts fast. That's why they're achieving things other organizations once thought impossible, like landing boosters upright or planning interplanetary travel. And every time a mission succeeds, public confidence in spaceflight grows stronger. There's also a growing sense of pride among Floridians, knowing that their state is at the heart of this space renaissance. Cape Canaveral, once known mostly for the Apollo and shuttle programs, is now alive again. But it's not just limited to that region. Towns all along the eastern coast, from Cocoa Beach down to Fort Pierce and beyond, are part of this revival. It's not just history, it's happening now. And being close to it gives residents a front-row seat to something most people only dream about seeing in their lifetime. As the evening draws to a close, the sky slowly darkens. Stars begin to emerge, one by one, reminding us of the vast universe beyond. Somewhere up there, the rocket's payload is entering orbit, finding its place among the thousands of other satellites that now circle Earth. It's humbling to think about. Each of those tiny dots of light in the sky represents a world we have yet to explore or a technology that's reshaping our own. And the rocket that just launched? It's part of the architecture that connects all of it. In the end, watching a SpaceX launch is more than a visual experience. It's an emotional one. It makes you feel small and powerful at the same time. Small because the universe is so vast and we are just a tiny part of it. Powerful because we're the only species we know of that has built machines capable of reaching beyond our planet. That duality is what makes rocket launches so moving. They remind us who we are, and what we might become if we keep reaching, keep building, and keep looking up.